Do you know something? You can be in problem that is not the will of God for your life. Even though it was God who tested Job to suffer, to be tested, it was not his plan for that problem to elongate. I want to challenge you this, to have a certain mentality, so that when you begin to pray, you will pray in a different manner. That this problem you are carrying, are you aware that you are supposed to expire that problem 2 years ago? Are you aware that the one who created you said you are going to be sick and the sickness will last only 6 months? But how come your own has lasted 10 years? He said you're going to be broke for only 1 year, but now your brokenness has become a nature. He said you're going to be unemployed for just 2 years, but now you have been unemployed for 8 years. Do you know that any elongated problem that affects the child of God is not God's business? So there are people who are suffering and crying here. You are crying because you like it. You are not suffering because that is the will of God. You are suffering because you are enjoying it. Because there's no reaction from your life that say you are dissatisfied. There's no reaction from your life that say you are uncomfortable. Can I tell you something? As long as you are on the face of this earth, everything you see on the face of this earth has a season, has a time. That is, nothing is meant to go continuously. Everything on the face of this earth has time, has season. You know what he said? He said there's a time to be born, there's a time to die. He said there's a time to cry, and there's a time to laugh. So if you have cried for too long and your laughter has not come, don't blame it on God. It is a spiritual discernment. It is spiritual. It is wisdom to discern when and how long spiritual bondage, oppression, affliction should end. It is wisdom to discern how long a spiritual bondage, how long a spiritual oppression, how long an affliction should last is a product of spiritual wisdom. Because by design, no program, no problem, no bondage, no pain is meant to continue without an expiry date. By right, by creation, there is no situation that is meant to elongate itself. No situation. Your tears is not what moves God. It's your understanding of his purpose that moves him. You can cry from now till evening. Nothing happens. Look at 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 10. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 10. After that you have suffered a while have you made suffering that is supposed to be for a while become a lifetime? After you have suffered a while, this is God talking to you. How come you are carrying pain for years? He said when God called you, he called you before the suffering came. The suffering was ordained, designed to do something in your life. He said, and the suffering was meant to be for a time. He said that after you have suffered a while, he said, make you perfect, establish you. So the reason, look at me, there are some of you who should be in your estate by now, but you are still squatting and blaming God. There are some of you here who you have suffered too long. How many years have you been suffering right now? He said the reason why you went there, he said there's an expiry date to this product called suffering. He said, but if you don't understand when the expiry date comes, he said you continue suffering. He said the end result is that after you suffer a while, he said he will perfect you. He will establish you. He said he will settle you and strengthen you. Meaning some of the suffering and pain you're going through is illegal. You have served God for 5 years, nothing to show for it. You have been faithful and diligent to God for 7 years, nothing to show for it. But the scripture says after you have suffered a while,